This is the beast of nature, the freak, Rob Terry.
I'm Johnny Spade, the new Ohio Valley heavyweight champion with the pretty new belt around my waist.
Hi, I'm OVW official Josh Ashcraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Triple Threat Talk. I'm Dean Hill.
This is Ricky Chevy, and I'm the blue-collar millionaire.
I'm Mr. Peck. God, that's great every time. Spectacular.
We're the Broner Brothers.
I am the One Go Revolution, Taylor Hendricks.
This is Brandon Espinoza.
I'm the assassin.
I'm Bruno Raul Limana.
I'm James Moose Thomas.
I'm Shiloh Jones.
My name is Ron Head. I'm the announcer for OVW.
I'm Jamin Olivencia.
I'm Alex Silva. I'm Rocco Bellagio.
I'm Kerry Bodie, the Ohio Valley Wrestling fan advocate.
Raphael Constantine.
I'm Rand Perez. My name's Muhammad Ali. Baez.
I'm Paradise.
This is Jack Black.
This is Ohio Valley Wrestling. Referee Chris Sharp.
This is Sexy Sean Casey. I'm Chris Silvio.
This is Michael Hayes. This is Jason Wayne.
And you're watching Triple Threat Talk.
To the next edition of Triple Threat Talk, episode 71. We are now very, very old, guys.
After the look we had, I don't think you really deserve this.
I don't think any of us deserve this, guy. But the fact is, it's mine.
Yeah, numerically.
Yeah. But I think
you don't theoretically deserve it.
I think we all barely have winning records at this point.
No, we have winning records. Barely, though.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we. That's what I just said. I think we barely have winning records. What are you doing over there?
Studying.
Okay. Well,
Studying very hard.
Studying very, very hard. I see that. I see that. So, I do want to give a quick shout out before we begin the show.
Okay. Oh boy.
I want to give a shout out to DJ Becker. A lot of stuff's going on with him right now with his racing. He's racing cars with no brakes. I'm not quite sure what that is, Postmaster. But he's got a car with no brakes and the motor's blown up on him a couple times. He said he's been able to catch the show, but he catches it here and there. I talked to him on Facebook, had a good conversation with him. So I just want to give a shout out to DJ Becker. He was the Buckin' 5 before Buckin' 5 came along, for those of you that remember way back in the day.
Undead Warrior.
And Undead Warrior and the DJ Becker show.
Where have they been?
I wish we could have Triple Threat Talk viewers. Where are they now? So
who knows where they are?
So without further ado, we will go to the studying Jimmy the Postmaster Jones for Viewsor questions.
Viewsor.
Not pondered.
Pondering.
From against
Ponder.
Yes. From Against All Odds 20.
That wasn't time for that yet.
Do you guys think WWE will ever get back to the ratings they had in the Attitude Era? If yes, then how do they do it, and would they?
Well, would they? I would hope so. No, it's just not possible. It's not going to happen it's just the Attitude Era was a different time. It doesn't seem like they're going to have much success anymore because wrestling was a different period. It was more people watch wrestling back in the Attitude Era, and it's just people are turned off with it. And there's new talent, and there's new talent. It's not like rock star personas like Steve Austin and The Rock and DX and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a new era, it's a new time in wrestling. The Attitude Era was WCW and ECW and WWE, WWF at the time, and it was just a whole time for wrestling. People just it was the biggest time in wrestling history, and I don't think they're focused on that anymore, to be honest with you. I think they're more focused on building the product as it is. It's like they don't want to repeat the past, they want to build this for now. So
I actually have a good theory on, not a better theory, I'm sorry, that was a misspeak. A good theory on this. So I want you to answer this question next, because I've actually been studying this question.
Right.
And I've actually postulated a very good answer.
Postulated.
Yeah. Big word. The doctor's using big words today.
It's a big word. It's a big word.
Yowza. Yeah, they have had a decline in ratings here the last couple weeks, but leading up to WrestleMania this year and the first couple weeks after WrestleMania this year, they were putting up some massive ratings. Like
yeah, well, that's to be expected.
Right. So I wouldn't say that they're totally just in the toilet. So nonetheless, they are bad, but they're not like, oh God, are we canceling Raw? or like, oh God, nobody's watching. Pro wrestling is done. It's like,
if they had audience numbers like they had at SmackDown a couple months ago, that's bad.
Yeah,
then that's their reason for concern.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is my answer. What do Family Guy and the WWE have in common? This is a legitimate question.
A wide range of characters?
Well, besides that. But yeah, they do.
The main focus is about a guy from Boston?
No.
Oh, well.
Although that's a good answer.
He's got you twice. He's got you twice.
What am I getting wrong here?
Okay. So it's not really what do they have in common, it's more of a connection, okay? When Family Guy first came on back in the day, what happened after the first 2 seasons?
Got canceled.
It got canceled.
Wasn't as popular.
Guess what?
What?
The first episode back, what did Peter say? He said, we're canceled, guys, but I guess if, and he goes on a list of about 40 shows.
That Fox canceled.
Yeah. All right? Yeah. So I went back and I did a little research. Okay? Due to this specific question. And my research yielded some fascinating results. And this is actually for TNA, this is for ROH, this is for WWE. They're not capitalizing on one thing. The fact that television shows are being canceled at a rate that they have never been canceled before, ever.
Yep.
Ever. There's been a 250% turnaround on TV shows over the last 2 years. Or 10 years, I'm sorry. Over the last 10 years. So what does this mean? Well, the writing staff at these places like WWE, ROH, TNA, what's the requirement that you have to be?
Television experience.
Television experience.
Yep.
Maybe it's time to take that requirement off the books. Because in a time where television shows can't even keep the United States of America's interest, and we're turning more and more and more to reality TV like the Kardashians, like Honey Poo Poo, like, I'm sorry.
No.
And you know, like Survivor. Although Survivor's not a bad show.
No.
Survivor.
Amazing Race.
Amazing Race.
Is epic.
Big Brother's epic.
Big Brother.
But like, besides the classics, like those 3 are probably a couple
Those
more.
probably are the original.
Stars.
That's the original 3. Amazing Race, Big Brother, and Survivor.
And then now it's Dancing with the Stars, which is big, and X Factor and American Idol. Those are the big 6, though, right now. Those are the big 6.
I would say... I would say like Pawn Stars is
but I don't really constitute that.
They get killer ratings.
They do.
I was going to counter with that. Actually, The Voice gets more ratings than X Factor.
Yeah, and I don't really mean to leave out Pawn Stars and Hardcore Pawn. I don't really see them as reality shows. I see it because you're learning something. Because on history, you know, as Pawn Stars are selling stuff, you're learning about what's going on.
It's a reality show.
Yeah, but anyway, moving back to the point, you have the big 6 right there. And you have an ever so much decreasing interest, you know. Now we have shows that even shouldn't be on TV, like Pregnant at 16, like Honey Boo Boo, Don't Throw Up, like everything else, like
Don't your Golden Grams,
like Homecoming 16. Who wants to see all this stuff that MTV and all that produces? It gives a bad image. So let's open it up. Let's put out any creative writers, because guess what? You can only have so many good ideas until you have to really kind of make more ideas somehow.
MTV's a long
and when television shows are being canceled, are you that certain that those are the people you want writing for your product?
Well,
just saying.
To quote Van Wilder, Doc, sex sells. Sex sells. Just saying.
Attitude era.
From the Buck in 5.
Yeah.
Since you do not think The Rock deserves the chance, and if you could pick anyone on the roster, who would you like to see in the title match at Royal Rumble?
I know who he's going to say, and you know who I'm going to say.
Well, no, I want him to win the Royal Rumble.
You want Bear?
I want Carlos to win the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you know, and we're going to get into this obviously next week when Hell in a Cell pick'ems are, you know, at the forefront for us.
We do better in Hell in a Cell pick'ems.
Probably, I would hope so. We hope so, because we couldn't do any worse than we did this week for sure. Unless we missed every game, but
5-9.
You know.
4-10.
I wouldn't put it past me, and I said this earlier, and you're like, well, just the way they push people sometimes, it wouldn't shock me. I don't think he's going to win, but it wouldn't shock me if Ryback won at Hell in a Cell. Because, go back way back when, in the year of 2009. Sheamus fought John Cena at TLC. Everyone's like, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. Granted, Cena probably fell, but it is what it is. Sheamus won the title, and he had it for a little while. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ryback won. So, I think possibly Ryback could go on the Raw and have the title. Again, they have to be very careful because it seems like they're going towards a Ryback Taker match at WrestleMania, Streak versus Streak, or however they're going to do it. I don't know if Taker's wrestling at WrestleMania or not. It's still up in the air. But they have to be very careful how they handle the Streak situation with Ryback. And like I said, there's a plethora of guys. I've said that before, and they deserve a shot. Cena, he's had his time, he's had his chances, but like the thing with the WWE title picture, there's not many guys they really can use. SmackDown has more people than they have. They have more than enough people. They have Ziggler, they have Rhodes, they have Barrett. Sheamus is champion. He's doing fine. They have a bunch of people on SmackDown that could legitimately be in the world title picture. Raw, I see Ryback now because he's entered in it. Cena, CM Punk, and that's about it. I can't think of anybody else. I can't think of anybody else who on Raw that deserves this. Maybe Miz because he just lost the Intercontinental title. I don't know. So it's tough to say because, like I said before, The Rock does not deserve this spot because he's not. He just doesn't because his time is over. Let the guys that are in the show now get their spot. So I don't have a direct answer to that, but it should not be The Rock because you just throw him in there and he gets a shot. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The reaction that Ryback is getting, I do like it. I don't think he should win at Hell in a Cell. I do think that he needs to win, but not win the title. Right. Probably like a DQ kind of thing. I like the streak. This is exciting.
Yeah. Well, he can't DQ.
It's on the cell. So
it's on the cell.
No, I don't think it's going to be in the. Is it in the cell?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, then he probably will win then. I just don't see. If they end this streak, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of people mad because this has been exciting.
Yeah, well, look. To contrast the other streak in wrestling with Goldberg, look how it ended. Kevin Nash beat him and it was stupid.
Yeah,
with a taser.
Yeah, come on now. And don't do that.
And they said that was the most ridiculous thing they've ever had. They said they didn't want it to end that way.
That's what happens when Kevin Nash is the writer.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope he wins, but they need to handle this very delicately.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be The Rock, obviously, and it's probably going to be CM Punk. I don't think CM Punk's going to lose the title to a Royal Rumble. I really don't.
But then again, how do they handle the streak situation? Because it's very hard to do.
The way they handle it is it's going to be either a draw or a no contest.
I can see that, but I was saying to him,
that keeps the streak alive.
I was saying to him because if it was a regular match, easily you can just cancel.
Right,
that's easy.
Right. But the only other way to do it would be a draw or a no contest.
Right.
And as much as we say, "Oh, it's not going to happen," it's not going to happen. It's more and more looking like it's going to be Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania next year. Rock's going to be the champ. Cena's going to challenge him, and Cena's going to win.
I guarantee you, there's people in that company eternally do not want that to happen.
They don't want.
I guarantee you.
They don't.
Well, yeah, but go ahead.
I would just say they don't, and you're right. I don't want it to happen for the simple fact because I was there personally, and I saw once in a lifetime.
They kept, forcing down your throat. They kept abdicating that it was once in a lifetime. Heck, the DVD they have of just them two wrestling is once in a lifetime.
But
once is one time.
But they've done this before. They did it with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
No.
That
was never a once in a lifetime thing.
No, but they kind of was like, oh, this is the last time.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, they've had matches way before that.
Right.
Attitude, they fought a bunch of times.
And they also did it with Triple H, and he's fought other people since then.
Yeah, but they were never advertising as once.
They've done it before. They've gone back on their word a lot. They've done this a lot.
I agree with him. I'm gonna have to take his side on this. They've gone back on their word, but there's always been separation. Like a great deal of separation. They haven't ever said once in a lifetime, literally 1 year before a match, and then 1 year later they renege on that.
Yeah,
They've never done that, but they have gone back on several things.
Right.
But nothing quite to...
Granted, if they did that, well, no duh, it would sell tickets, obviously.
Right.
But the simple fact is, you have hardcore wrestling fans like us and people out there, it's like, wait a minute, you said once in a lifetime. Can you count to one? Because I can. That's one time. You don't do more than once.
All right, and the reason why I say that is just because, yeah, we may not want to see it. They might not want to see it internally, but WWE may be looking at it from a money grab and a marketing standpoint. Be like, well, it got so much ratings last year. What makes you think it wouldn't get the ratings this year, especially with a title in the line? So, also from the Buck and 5. What the reaction that Ryback is getting, speaking of Ryback again, when do you see him becoming a champion of any kind?
I mean, I'm going to answer this question pretty quick because we're getting close to the break. I think it's Hell in a Cell. I honestly do. Like I said, I go back to the Sheamus point. Nobody gave him a shot to win. Nobody. He's facing John Cena. John Cena is WWE champion. That's like a lock to win. And the fact that Sheamus beat him was a big surprise to everybody. It was a pleasant surprise because Cena was virtually unbeatable at that point. You didn't think anyone could beat Cena. And Sheamus did it, yeah, by accident. But he won nonetheless. Do you think Ryback's going to win? No. But he might.
I'm going to say soon as well. I'm probably going to say this pay-per-view.
Could be Hell in a Cell, but I'm going to say no. I think it'll be a little further down the road. And when we come back, we will wrap up user questions and View of the Week and get into headlines right after this.
Oh, babe, check this out. Hey, come on. You want a little chippy? You want a Dorito? Are you hungry? I want to get a Dorito.
Babe, don't hurt my dog.
Come on, get a tip. Come on, get a tip. Get a tip. Come on. Here we go.
And welcome back to Triple Threat Talk. Big B alongside the Doctor and Golden Grams over there.
Golden Grams?
Golden Grams.
Was Homecoming available tonight, by the way?
No.
Okay.
No.
Alright, coming back.
From the CAW interviewer, if you could only take one album, one wrestling match, and one sports star to take on a holiday, who and what would they be?
Holiday.
So an album, a match, and a sports star on a holiday?
First, I'm not even gonna say a wrestling match because if I'm going on holiday somewhere, I'm sticking to the sights and the sounds of the place.
An album?
An album on the way there, I could see that. And a sports star, that'd be great. I'm not gonna answer a wrestling match though.
How would you take a match with you?
DVD.
DVD.
VHS.
DVD. I think if I ever got it, I'd take Homecoming 9.
Go ahead.
One album. I don't know. This is a tough one. I might do something maybe like a U2 album, maybe Joshua Tree, which is a very good album by U2, probably the best they've ever done. What?
You going up to Joshua Tree?
Well, that's the best album they've ever done.
No, haven't found what I'm looking for.
Well, you need to look harder then. But I'll probably U2 album. Maybe
it's always in the last place.
maybe U2 collection if they had a box set or something.
No, one album.
Fine, Joshua.
Not a box collection.
Fine, Joshua Tree.
One album.
Joshua Tree, okay? Wrestling match, I wouldn't take anything. Because again, I agree with him. Why would you watch a wrestling match while you're on holiday?
Come on.
Holiday.
Holiday.
On holiday.
On holiday.
Trump eating English muffins and tea.
So, with your sports star, you'd be in a bit of a trouble.
You would be.
I don't think there's enough coins to flip.
Is it Russell Wilson?
No.
Is it Cody Rhodes?
No. Is it Andy Murray?
No.
Is it Rafael Nadal? Is it
Novak Djokovic?
Whoa!
Can I answer?
Sure.
One sports star to take on holiday. This is an easy one. You've missed the obvious.
Shawn Michaels?
You missed the obvious choice. You're going on the wrong side of the coin, fellas. I'd take Maria Sharapova.
Okay.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right.
Gorgeous tennis player on holiday? Joshua Tree? You know what I'm saying?
I can't say a girl though, neither can he.
Joshua Tree.
Yes, look it up.
So Maria Sharapova and Joshua Tree.
Would she even understand the lyrics?
Yes. Anyway, go with your answer.
I can't say a female, or else that is a very good idea.
He's only saying a female to cover up the other part, so it's all.
See what I go through on this show every single week.
Tom Petty's greatest hits would be the album I'd take. The Doctor's a big, the Doctor's a big Tom Petty fan.
Ballin'.
Despite most of my music coming from Kevin Rudolph and the Rolling Stones, from
Kevin Rudolph.
But and I would say that the sports star I would take with me would actually be Patrick Willis, because he's my favorite player in the NFL, and Patrick Willis is flippant. He's just an athlete.
52.
Good old number 52.
If I would have to take Chief by Eric Church, because that album is absolutely epic.
Man, Eric Church lately.
Yeah, really.
I would not take a wrestling match because the card's not big enough for a ring. And I guess number 18's coming with me, Peyton Manning. So that takes care of user questions.
Let me add one more question.
Add it to your wild card.
No, let me add one more question.
We do have another question.
It's under protest.
It's
I am in charge here.
Yeah.
Sort of.
From MX4X the second. With WWE 13 coming out soon and the Attitude Era stuff dropping into the minds of the fans, we can all see that in comparison to the good old Attitude Era days, wrestling is definitely not what it used to be. In your opinion, what do you think are the biggest reasons for progressing downfall in WWE?
Okay.
This would be a big B only question.
Okay.
We'll be napping. And we'll
no, seriously, you're gonna probably maybe agree with this answer. Okay. You know, why do you think WWE is not as successful as they used to be? Legitimately. You know, it's not the wrestling talent. The talent's probably gotten better. I think the talent's gotten a lot better. You have to look at it and say, I'm having a conversation here.
We're listening. We're covering the rest.
We're doing other stuff.
Okay, anyway, so
you said this was you.
Well, I want some feedback here. It's kind of a give and take thing. I'm the giving, no one's taking. That's gonna be bleeped. So as I was saying, the talent in WWE is very good. There's no denying that.
Okay.
So, but why do you think the WWE is not as popular as it used to be?
Because of what I said earlier.
Well, here's my big reason. You might think about it and go, maybe. The internet.
No.
The internet. And I'll tell you why. Back in the Attitude Era, like the 90s and 99, the internet wasn't this big, huge global thing. It was just starting out. It was very new. Okay? Now, fast forward 15 years later, you have websites like No DQ and all these spoiler websites that give every single thing out there. Backstage this, spoilers that. Back in the Attitude Era, you didn't know anything that was going on. You didn't know as much knowledge as you know now. Nowadays, everybody can go on the internet and look up anything they want. They can look up who WWE signed, who's having fights in the back, if there's problems with people, who's getting released. You didn't know any of that stuff back then, and that's what made wrestling interesting. The surprise factor. You didn't know. For example, if I knew if the internet was as big today as it was back in '98 when Shawn Michaels fought Steve Austin at WrestleMania and I found out Michaels was losing, I'd be devastated. I wouldn't watch the match. It's like it's not like the internet's a bad thing. It's not. But the websites, the spoiler websites that give out these information, it's just the times of wrestling. That's how it is. But with the internet becoming as big as it was in the century it is now, you have not as much surprise. Everything is just given to you.
I would agree with you except for one thing. Okay. One crucial thing. Okay. The true fans, like myself, right. I don't even do that. I'm just saying. The conclusions that I draw, I do not look at websites. They'll tell you. I'm always like, did you see the news on No DQ or whatever? Yeah. Like, no, I don't go to the websites. The true wrestling fans do not go to the websites and look at spoilers. The true wrestling fans go to look at who's signed, who's been released, who's injured, and all that stuff. Right. That's what you should do. Spoilers, I will agree, have no place on the internet. Yeah. But there is a way to use everything to your advantage, and that includes filming live, which SmackDown needs to do desperately. And I'm going to talk about that in my vlog.
And another thing about spoilers, WWE's not a big anti-spoiler person. They just spoiled last night that Kofi Kingston won the Intercontinental title. Yep. He won it tonight. We're filming tonight. We're putting this up Thursday. But he won it at main event, and you figure because it's a new show, they want people to watch. Yeah, granted, people are probably going to watch it just to see how he wins. And apparently, it was a really good match.
I know how he wins. The Miz is still dead.
Yeah, right. But we'll talk about that later too. But the thing is, it's like, why would you? And they've done it before. They've done things with Edge winning the world title, and anytime someone catches Money in the Bank and it's on SmackDown, they just throw it out there. And I don't get it. They're not helping the ratings. If you know the outcome, why watch it? I don't understand.
Well, it's just like why Titanic was the #1 movie until freaking what's that movie with Cameron that just got made? Avatar. Until Avatar came along. And then I mean, freaking. You know how it ended, but people still.
Ship sinks. Anyway. Most people die. Okay.
Let's go towards it.
So, well, that wraps up user questions. and a little 10-minute tutorial from Big B about.
Thank you for that.
I think he liked that question.
No.
He got a good debate out of it.
So we will anoint this week's viewer of the week, and I think it's me, but
No, it's my turn. I haven't gone in like weeks.
Okay, all right.
More than you.
I haven't gone in weeks. In weeks. So
Make it quick.
I am.
Quick.
With the question that was just answered, and I like the topic of it, and I think it brings up good points. I'm not kidding. I think it brings up good points. And it's mine.
I didn't even have a comment.
Well, why didn't you?
Why? Because it was a dumb question.
I know it was a good question.
No offense, Mr.
No offense to you, but if they're not on a downfall would mean
They're not.
No, they're not on a downfall because a downfall would mean they're going away.
No, he was making a point. He was making a point. He was making a point. They're in a down from the attitude era, which is obvious.
You can't compare that. That's like comparing apples to oranges.
He is right. You're both right. Okay. This is one of those situations where you're both right. Downfall does not imply they're going away. Downfall just simply indicates
rock bottoms are going away.
When you're going down a roller coaster, you are in a downfall and you come back up. Now, that's why he's right.
They're on a stock market.
Why you're right is because it is comparing apples and oranges. This is a new era.
Right. The PG era. That's the attitude.
When you have an announcement like you did 5 or 6 years ago by Mr. McMahon saying the NWO era is over, that announcement is what ended the Attitude Era. I don't care what anybody else says. That announcement ended the Attitude Era. I dare anyone to argue that point.
I think we bought WCW.
Right? No, when they said, because we had never seen that before. Vince McMahon came out and said, "This storyline is over." He said that. He said the era of the NWO is over. When he said that, that is when we shifted from the Attitude Era into now. Because the NWO was the caboose on the train that was the Attitude Era. That's fact. That is true.
Right.
So
but anyway, continue. So MX Horror X Second, I anoint you this week's Triple Threat Talk Viewer of the Week. I like the question.
No disrespect to you.
I like the question.
Postmaster and I just disagree.
We just
agree to disagree. So with that, Big B, cue the
cheesy music.
Cue that cheesy music.
Everyone, put on your dance pants, your dancing shoes,
and get ready to do the doctor. Oh yeah!
Really? Get ready to the Gary. I thought it was the Gary.
The Gary. All right.
Everyone, what the heck? Roll it.
Doctor, give me the news. I got the bad case of the headline blues.
Oh yeah, working those quads. Oh yeah.
It's the headless horseman.
Working that core, working those arms.
Working that body. We're working that.
All right.
We're working out.
All right.
Headlines.
Headlines! We got some big news in the world of basketball today, boys. Marcus Lee signs with University of Kentucky for the 2013 season, securing indefinitely a 5th #1 class in a row for Coach Calipari. After 2 weeks ago, the Harrison twins and Young committed to UAK over the last 2 weeks. The AP poll was released today. The AP poll for preseason, and I'm the first one to tell you polls mean nothing in basketball.
Nope.
They don't. They truly don't. Nope. But it is a credit to this area because all 3 major local teams are ranked 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 is IU, number 2 is U of L, and number 3 is UAK. That is the first time ever that has ever happened. And that is just amazing.
Did you find that out by watching ALCS?
Yes. Okay. No, I did not. Nerlens Noel is cleared to play for UAK academically, keeping on with that.
Oh, Afro Man is clear.
Afro Man is clear. And from a little bit of basketball, we're going to go to a little bit of tiny ball, because I think that Mr. B, you have the con with tennis.
Okay. All right. So this past weekend, there was the Shanghai Masters in Shanghai, China, if you didn't know.
Now you know.
Okay. Boo, he dropped it. It's his fault. Really giving me that look. Anyway, so your guy that you've been behind all year, who won the Olympics, which you were happy about that, I'm sure. He goes into Shanghai, beats Federer 6-4, 6-4. Federer played unlike himself, 5 double faults in the first set. There was an issue with the roof, and it was raining, and this and that and the other. But bottom line, Murray beats Federer to reach the finals. He will take on Novak Djokovic, who defeated Tomas Berdych to reach the finals. And Djokovic had a tough match, but he pulls it out in 3 sets. Wins 5-7, 7-6. So Murray had a chance to win that second set, win the match. It was 13-11 in that tiebreak. And then 6-3 in the third. So if Djokovic wins that tournament in Shanghai, the ATP World Tour Final is coming up in the beginning of November. Nadal is qualified for it, but I don't think he's going to play because of his knee. My best bet, Nadal will resume playing at the Australian Open in January, so I would think Janko Tipsarevic, who's 9 in the rankings for that, he'd probably get thrown in there because Nadal probably won't play. Another tidbit before we move on to another topic here, Federer has been #1 for 300 plus weeks his entire career, so kudos to him for doing that. No one thought he'd be #1 ever again, and he found a way to win Wimbledon and found a way to be #1 again. So, but again, he could possibly lose the #1 ranking by the end of the year. Depends if Djokovic was World Tour Finals. I think Murray could get maybe as high as 2 in the world. Depends on it, because he beat Federer a couple times this year, so he's got a lot of points.
Murray's coming back.
Murray's playing very well, and I said this before. Ivan Lendl turned his career around. And we'll be right back right after this break.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
And welcome back to Triple Threat Talk. Do you have any closing remarks on tennis?
No, I was going to say before we went to a quick break, I was going to say Ivan Lendl turned his career around, and Ivan Lendl, was one of the toughest players on tour when he played. And with Murray, he was always like griping and whining on the court. And I think Lendl's told him just calm down and focus, and it's really helped him. And I think kudos to you. I mean, I know more about tennis on the show than anybody, but kudos to you for being behind Murray. And I think Nadal being out has benefited him big time. And Murray can get his highs too this year because he's beaten Federer a couple times. And he got a big chance in Shanghai for sure.
Well, I appreciate the kudos. Yeah. One thing that you can agree on, I mean, I do have an eye for talent, and Andy Murray is very talented.
Andy Murray's coming along.
He moves quick.
How did that eye for talent work for you in that wrestling match?
Hey, you know what? Shut up. Every now and then I
you know what you do? You change the game. By the way, against all
it was 1-1.
No one else
Buck-in 5.
So it was a tie.
Buck-in 5 tied. So we're in a debate. I can say it was a good line, and you all can say it was a bad line.
Okay, so if we include our votes,
no,
it's 3-2. We win. Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
We opened it up to the viewers. By the way, Buck-in 5, you should have gotten your poster already, buddy.
If you haven't.
If you haven't, let me know because I've got the tracking number.
Blame the mail. Fail.
Blame UPS, the big brown truck.
From batting the ball back and forth seamlessly, endlessly, we go to going left with PostMaster.
Going left. So we go. Okay. I don't know.
We're going back and forth to left.
Okay, so Clint Boyer wins the fuel mileage race, as they like to call them, at Charlotte Speedway. A big win for him that propels him to 4th place in the points standings. Brad Keselowski still your points leader. Jimmy Johnson in 2nd. Denny Hamlin 3rd. They move on to Kansas, another cookie cutter this week.
And tell us why. Tell us why, because the doctor knows about this. Tell us why we did not see Mr. Jr. last week and will not see him this week.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. suffered a concussion for the 2nd time in 6 weeks. He was sidelined last week, and he was sidelined this week, which caused a whirlwind of effects.
A whirlwind?
Yes.
A whale-wind?
Did you find out what a frog was?
No, I Googled it, and I typed in frog. It said, did you mean frog? I said, no.
So with Dale Jr. out, Regan Smith, who was driving the 78, replaces Dale Jr. Kurt Busch, who was in the 51, now drives the 78.
Keep track of that.
And lo and behold, the man that we talked about most of the summer, AJ Allmendinger, is back. He's driving the number 51 for James Finch Phoenix Racing. So good job. I'm glad he's back in the sport. I'm glad he completed the drug rehab program. I'm glad he's cleaned up, and it seems that he is, you know, on the right foot. And another quick rule change note for next year: the top 35 will be no more.
No loss.
From now on, it will be the fastest 35, no matter what position you are in the points. Get in the show, plus 6 cars on owner points and 1 champion's provisional. I like it. And the Nationwide Series will be cut from 43 cars to 40 for better competition purposes. And a quick update on the NHL lockout. The NHL owners have offered the players a 50-50 revenue split, which is up about 9% from their previous offer. They did want to offer them like 41%, somewhere in that range. This is a step in the right direction. Does not mean the lockout is over, but it's definitely a good sign. And I think their owners are finally realizing, you know, we're starting to get really good ratings and things are starting to turn around. Let's not screw this up.
Exactly.
So
they've already done that.
So we go from a whale wing and a frog to the next topic here.
So baseball here. Detroit leads the Yankees in the series 3-0.
They get a break tonight.
They've got a lot of things going on with the Yankees lately. Derek Jeter having to go through surgery on his ankle now.
Yeah, he'll be out. He's done.
Alex Rodriguez,
A-Rod
numbers.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later, but we are acknowledging what A-Rod did in the game in the 9th and the 10th innings when the Yankees were down. What should you not be doing? He did what you should not be doing.
He will be my idiot of the week.
But I actually had a stat before we move on to the Cardinals and the Giants. The Yankees, I've never seen them play this bad. They cannot hit the ball. They have the lowest batting percentage since the 1962 Yankees. They're batting 200.
The Reds and the Yankees combined this year left more people on base than any other two franchises.
Let me ask you this,
baseball
speaking of the
history.
Reds, not to get off before you get on to the Cardinals. As a Reds fan, are you happy? Well, I know you're not happy about how the outcome of the season. You had a 2-0 lead heading home. You lose 3 straight at home. Are you happy with the decision to keep Dusty Baker?
Yes.
I think
Dusty Baker made one mistake this whole year, and that was the signal, the move that Jay Bruce should steal third when they were coming back against the Giants the last game at home. When he was moving the bases, he made one mistake. Yes, that mistake cost him the game, but for all the good that he's done for that program, I completely agree that Dusty Baker should still be the manager.
And I told you, I said I think the reason the Reds struggled is because Votto didn't step up when he needed to. Votto didn't have a good series either.
No. Yeah, Votto did not have a good series.
And when your star player struggles, the whole team struggles. Look at Jeter. Jeter is that captain of that Yankees team, and they're falling.
And there are better hitters on there than Derek Jeter. Yeah, there are better hitters.
Yeah,
I mean, you have CC Sabathia. You have Curtis Granderson.
Cano can't hit. Granderson can't hit. A-Rod couldn't hit water fell out of a boat.
And
okay,
really, he can hit on women.
Speaking of A-Rod and Granderson, they were both set to be benched tonight. But that game has been rained out, and so is the Giants St. Louis. I think they're going to give that one a little bit longer.
I think as of right now, I'll check during commercial break and we'll get back to you. But I think there were delayed, but I think they're going to continue the game.
But Detroit does lead the series 3-0 with an amazing pitching performance by Justin Verlander, who did go out in the 6th of the 7th inning, I think, and
Phil Koch stepped in.
And then Phil Koch stepped in. The Giants and St. Louis are tied 1-1. What do both games have in common? As we just told you, they both just got rained out.
As far as the Yankees go, I'd say they're going to get swept.
I think
again, I give CC all the credit. Well, CC is their best pitcher. He is their ace of that pitching squad. But how are you going to win if you can't hit the ball?
Yeah.
They had, up until the top of the 9th inning, they had 2 hits. For one player, Ichiro. He had 2 hits. Everyone else did not have a hit. Until the 9th, Nunez woke up in a home run, and they still lost 2-1. He can't hit the ball.
The U.S. men move on to the next round of World Cup qualifying with a 3-1 win over Guatemala. They needed to at least tie to
Guatemala.
I know.
Guatemala?
Guatemala.
Whale win.
Whale win.
Whale win. I got it. There was a whale win in Guatemala and lifted a frog.
Wow. But Guatemala. That's how they say it down there.
You know what I don't see on this headline sheet?
What?
You know what I don't see?
What?
And I'm not surprised. He makes the headline, so I'm not surprised.
What did I forget?
Well, I know. I'm talking about him, not you.
Oh, okay.
I don't see anything about a school being 1-6, losing 49-7.
Because it's not relevant.
Why is it not relevant?
Because we've known for a while Kentucky doesn't have a football program.
There's no college football in here, period.
Actually, you know what? There is a little bit of relevance. I can easily talk about that.
Whoa, Arkansas stinks.
Arkansas's not that good.
That's why I said they stink.
They're a little bit better than what we think they are.
Joker Phillips is gone. Move on.
Not lately, he's not. But all right. Anyway, the U.S. men moved to the next round. They needed to at least tie Guatemala to move on.
They down 1-0.
And then they came back 3-1. That was I watched it on demand on Xbox Live. If you haven't been able to check ESPN apps out on Xbox, you have to check out on demand. You can go back and watch these. I love this time of year because I get quality soccer for the next couple of years. This is great.
You're kind of alienating what they don't have an Xbox.
I feel sorry for you. So, anyways.
Well, the smart money is on Xbox.
The smart money is on Xbox.
Not PlayStation 3.
We will move on. Actually, since he wants to knock the cards, I get to knock the cats a little bit. Or since he wants to knock the cats, I get to knock the cards a little bit.
I wasn't knocking them. I was stating the obvious. I was stating the obvious.
You are right, though. Something happened that has only happened a handful of times in the history of FBS football, BCS football.
BCS.
The rain was so bad in Arkansas that they actually had to cut the game with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
It was lightning, too.
It was lightning.
And it was third quarter.
And it was third quarter. Yeah, you're right. It was
which was probably a good thing. It might have been
100-7.
But it was 47-7. 49-7 at the time that they cut it. UK is just miserable. They're pathetic.
That's it.
There definitely needs to be a coaching staff, but Mitch Barnhart is looking for any and all excuses to keep Joker Phillips. I mean, it's pathetic.
No, forget it.
He sneezed like a gentleman. Oh, we get to keep him as our head coach. Joker needs to go. I'm sorry, Joker. You had my support at first. You've lost it. I mean,
I'll say this much before we move to the next topic. You know, it's no secret that Kentucky prides their program in basketball. They're an institution. They're
an empire.
They are probably one of, if not the most popular basketball program in all of the country.
Yeah.
Especially now with Calipari and that recruiting class he gets every year. But until UK says, we're going to take some money from the basketball program and put it towards football, they're never going to get it football, ever.
Just to know, the reason why I brought that up, I had a reason to bring that up.
Okay.
This past Friday was March Madness.
Big Blue Madness.
Big Blue Madness. And a report came out. They spent more money on that one night of Big Blue Madness than they did for the football program for the whole season.
I believe it. Why would you spend money on something that's not returning you an investment? It's not giving you an investment.
A little breaking news on the show. Some sad news to report, and I really do want to talk about this for a moment. He's been in the news a lot here lately. He's a Kentucky kid. But unfortunately, I have to report that Lane Goodwin, the little boy with cancer, he's been all over Facebook. He passed away.
No!
Yeah, he passed away.
When did this happen?
Just a while ago, I just got the text message stating that he passed away. I know he was having difficulty this morning because I follow that page on Facebook. And they said, you know, he barely could wake up. And he did wake up, but unfortunately he did succumb to the complications, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with the Goodwin family. I know he fought a good fight. He went through 2 remissions. He was trying to get to the 3rd, and it just didn't pan out. And
it takes a lot out of you.
So Godspeed, Goodwin family, and thoughts and prayers your way, definitely.
Well, I don't see how we can continue headlines after that. I wish you would have waited. That is sad news, but
I had to report it out.
I wish you did. I wish you would have waited. But we'll go to the break a little bit early. Let that sit in. When we continue, we will continue with headlines. We'll be back after this.
Would you like an autograph? I do way more for the fans. I doubt that very much. Do you like this hat? Here, it's yours. You can have it. Take one of my helmets. It's much better than a hat. What about a ride home? Can I give you a ride home? I mean, even better. Take my car. Do whatever you want with it. Kidding me? Can you beat that? I don't think so.
True champions know what fans really want. Mobil 1, the official motor oil of NASCAR. Many champions, many fans. One oil. Mobil 1.
And welcome back here on Triple Threat Talk. I am PostMaster Jones along with the Doc Lock and Big B on the end. So we did a little headlines there, and sorry for the breaking news, but that's something that I follow on Facebook very closely, and I know that he follows it as well. We were filling in Big B before the break, or during the break, I should say, about the situation. So we'll turn it back over to the doc.
The #1 story of the week happened yesterday, and Lance Armstrong has stepped down from Livestrong.
Still be on the board of directors.
He's still be on the board of directors, but he is stepping down. A company which most people are speculating, or a foundation, I should say, that most people are speculating would not or cannot exist without Lance Armstrong.
Right.
They're going to give it a shot, though. Yeah. Nike has dropped Lance Armstrong in a story that I brought to you earlier in the spring. Yeah. Earlier in the summer, I mean, these doping charges. He is still not admitted to it. Yeah. There's insurmountable evidence, they think, but it's still, like I said, this organization that goes after him, they have no proof, no nothing, and this is just ridiculous.
But again, when he said you can only fight so much.
You can only fight so long. You can only fight so long. When you have a company or when you have a group that's just out to get you, you can only fight so long. And I'd be willing to bet that they probably paid those people to testify against him. Yeah. They should feel ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, they should be.
Because this man, whether or not he doped or not, this man has already saved thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lives. Absolutely. And it does not matter. There are certain things. If Susan G. Komen were an athlete and they found out she were doping, I guarantee you they wouldn't have pulled any records that she had. This is an outrage. Yeah, it is. This is pathetic. And this company, this foundation that went after Armstrong needs to be shut down because, frankly, my tax dollars are not going to support an organization. And I have written a letter, by the way. I wrote a letter this morning to my congressman that I wish for my tax dollars to not be going to an organization such as this who completely discriminates and destroys people's reputation for a man that has saved so many thousands of people.
I commend you on that. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
So many thousands of people.
Stop dropping the belt. He's ashamed.
But this is, and I urge you. Yeah. An email doesn't hurt. Write your congressman.
Call your congressman.
Because it doesn't matter if you live in Kentucky. It doesn't matter if you live in Rhode Island. If you live in the United States of America, your tax dollars are funding this organization that did this to Lance Armstrong. They are funding this organization, and they need to be cut off, frankly, because they have supremacy. I'm sorry, my tax dollars, I do not wish them to go to an organization. I do not wish them to go to an organization that is tyrannical. And that's what that is. When you cannot be stood up to, you're a tyrant. It doesn't matter what it is. And Lance Armstrong has done a whole hell of a lot more good than he did bad with this. And there's no arguing that. This is pathetic. Any thoughts?
I mean, like, I'm not mad at Nike.
No, you can't be mad at Nike.
The hands are tied. They gotta do what they gotta do. But
you can't be mad at Nike.
As far as the other stuff goes, we were talking about this past couple of months about Lance Armstrong, and it's just it's just like they keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. It's just like, you know what, I can't fight this anymore. It's too much.
I think it's a double standard on Nike's part.
Really?
Well, I do.
I can see that.
Oh yeah. The reason why I say that is because. So, a guy that they have evidence against him, okay?
Right.
But he hasn't admitted to anything yet.
No. He probably won't.
So they terminate his contract.
Yeah. On speculation.
A man kills dogs and they give him millions of dollars. Nike, kiss my ass. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway. I gotta bleep a lot this week.
Moving on to football.
Foosball.
Ray Lewis out for season with torn triceps.
I don't think he's done for his career because I don't think Lewis wants to go out that way.
I think he's ever going to be done.
But like we said, he's been in a wheelchair 80 years old, tackling people, so scaring people. But it's a shame for that team. They should have lost. I guess we'll call it that game real quick. They should have lost the game to the Cowboys. They should have lost. The Cowboys beat the Ravens in every sense of the word except for the score, and the Cowboys couldn't manage the clock. And with Ray Lewis out, Suggs might come back in a couple weeks. But he's like, and people brought this up, this is actually a good topic. Ray Lewis to that team is like Derek Jeter for the Yankees. They need him to thrive on that team to inspire the players. Without Jeter, no players, they have no inspiration, they have no confidence. Their captain is gone. So that's what the Ravens, their captain is gone. So what are they supposed to do?
You can keep going. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I know,
you got plenty of time. All the time in the world.
Juan Castillo fired from the Eagles. His defensive coordinator, Andy Reid, gave the authority to put the axe down on him.
That's ridiculous.
After they struggle and blow a big lead in the fourth quarter and lose to the Lions.
That's ridiculous.
OT.
And the thing is, Castillo's offensive coordinator anyway. He's just defensive now.
Yep.
And I say this now, and I make another prediction. I made a prediction on the show before, and they've been right so far. End of the season, Vic's no longer an Eagle, and Andy Reid's fired. I'm sorry. Unless the Eagles improve.
It'd be silly to fire Andy Reid.
Well, I'm just saying I think they will. Because they're 3-3. Vic has the most turnovers of any quarterback in the league.
It's not Andy Reid's fault.
One, but I'm saying sometimes it falls on the coach.
Nope. Andy Reid, they've already said if they let go of Andy Reid, they said it'd be the dumbest move ever. There would be so much firestorm from that because they love him up there.
Well, I'll give.
And he's a great coach.
I'll go 50-50 on that, but I'm going 100% Vic's gone next year. He's gone.
There's no doubt.
He's not safe. He's turned the ball over more times than anybody.
Yep.
He doesn't have the same poise and same elusiveness as he had when he was in Atlanta. They need to find something else because he's not the answer for
Totally agree. John Connor, in fact, has been terminated. John Connor.
Yes. If you don't get that reference, shame on you.
The Jets waived the big man as their fullback after they do win 35-9 after Unleash Sean Green.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, I don't get it. I don't get it. Tebow's in one play. It's a fake punt pass, and anyone's grandma here could have made the pass. He was wide freaking open. Unleashed. And Mark Sanchez had a great game. He only threw for 82 yards. 82? Come on, Rex. Please, unleash.
They're not going to.
No, of course not.
In other NFL news, the Titans beat the Steelers 26-23. The Steelers are definitely struggling right now.
Without Paul Malu, out Kiesel, Mendenhall.
The Browns get their first win over the Bengals 34-24. One of your predictions didn't come true. Falcons over the Raiders 23-20. Falcons win on a last-second field goal to stay on.
That shows how good of a team is. Where they win late, they find a way to win, and that shows a good team. So we'll see.
Seahawks 24, Patriots 23, and again we did predict Seahawks win with touchdown late. Brady goes 36-58, 395 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Russell Wilson 16 for 27, 293, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Lynch
was struggling, which is good. I'm very happy with that game. I mean, obviously that's my team, and we both picked it. I was a little nervous at the end.
The game I was unhappy with: the Giants 26, the 49ers 3. Alex Smith throws 3 interceptions. As there were 3 quarterbacks this week that threw over 3 interceptions. One of them actually did win with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan was able to pull his. The other being Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
The Niners just have a bad game. Yeah, it happens.
But I'll say this about the Niners, and we're going to get into it a little bit later. We're going to go head-to-head in a minute. But the reason they lost this game is because of Alex Smith. He threw 3 interceptions, and I'll say this about the Niners. The Niners, he is not going to win them any games. He's not. He's not that good of a quarterback. I'm sorry. Here's the thing.
You're out of your mind.
No, I'm not.
You're out of your mind.
No, I'm not. He's not that good. I'm sorry. The reason they win games is Frank Gore. When Frank Gore runs the ball for 100 yards, that's when that team dominates. No. Alex Smith is not that great. I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Tell me, please.
I'm going to tell you.
Please educate me.
Okay. When Frank Gore runs up the middle, when he does what he does running the ball, you can't win a game going 19 snaps with Frank Gore. I'll be honest with you about that. You're right about that. You're not going to win a game going 19 rushes with Frank Gore. You're not. What Frank Gore enables Alex Smith to do is to hit Vernon Davis when he's wide open, or to hit Michael Crabtree when he's wide open. The fact that he had one bad game over him winning so many games for them late in the clutch. You're talking about a quarterback who not only outdueled Drew Brees last year, but outdueled Eli Manning twice. Yes, they did lose the game. They lost to the Giants, but that was not Alex Smith's fault. That was Kyle Williams taking that football to the knee. Right. But he had a better QBR than Eli Manning in both games.
I'll say this, though. I'll say this. But again, you have to have a balance between the two because
you do.
With Frank Gore, if he runs the ball, then you have that option of Alex Smith running the play action pass, which fools some teams. That's why they play so
That's
well.
why they win. And with that is why when I said you're wrong, that is why you're wrong. Because the play action pass by Alex Smith does allow that field to be cut wide open, and that's why Alex Smith can win them games. Colin Kaepernick, they're starting to use him in a lot of creative ways.
Rex Ryan, take notes.
Yeah, take notes, definitely, Rex Ryan. They're bringing Colin in to run the Wildcat a little bit, which is just an amazing thing that they're developing in San Francisco. They're trying to get some bugs loose. This is why they lost like this. They wanted to see what they could do with the passing game. This is something I'm going to say it's going to be controversial. It's 100% true. And I was going to say this regardless if you brought that up. Okay. This is a game that the Niners could afford to lose. They could. There's just flat out.
No, they didn't want to.
They didn't want to, but they could afford to lose it. Okay? They still have a full divisional game, a full round of divisional game. They know that they can beat these guys. They know that they can beat people. They do have a game at Seattle later in a few weeks later on in the season, which I'll be honest, they're stupid if they think that's going to be a cakewalk. They're dumb.
That's a scary environment. Just ask New England.
But I will tell you also one thing: the Rams. If there's anybody in the NFL that can beat the Seahawks at home, it is the Rams, it is the Cardinals, and it is the 49ers, because they deal with it once a year. Yeah, they do. Now, what I'm trying to say is that they could afford to lose this game. There is now a three-way tie between the Cardinals, the Niners, and the Seahawks. So they could afford to lose this game. And when you are learning on the fly, you've got to learn in a tough environment like this with the Giants. You've just got to. They could afford to lose this game. They didn't want to, but they could afford it. Right. And they're going to come back. And I'll tell you one thing. I'm already going to give you a pick 'em. I'm picking the 49ers because they're going to be mad. Okay. And we've seen the 49ers be mad twice this season. Okay.
So I don't trust Alex Smith. I'm sorry.
I think you need to go back and watch what Alex Smith has done.
Last season.
A couple seasons ago, you'll remember I was the head of the Kill Alex Smith committee.
I think he turned back into that. I don't trust him.
One game. You can't say he's turned back into that after one game. After one, he still has the least amount of turnovers of any quarterback.
I've never trusted Alex Smith ever. I've never trusted him. Never have.
The Redskins 38, the Vikings 26. Griffin comes back after that concussion, has an amazing game. Packers destroyed the Texans. Oh, we're running low on time. The Packers destroyed the Texans 42-24. The Packers rebound with the win at Houston, and a game that really got me mad at Aaron Rodgers because I sat Jordy Nelson this week in my fantasy league, but I still was wanting.
So before we move on to the last game, I want him to do this one. Specifically for you.
All right. So we're sitting there, and of course it's Monday, so you're watching Raw, kind of keep me updated on that. I'm watching the game, you're kind of watching both. The first half, abysmal. Special teams, horrible. Back-to-back fumbles. The score is 24-0.
It's over.
It's over.
Game over.
Yeah, right.
Lee Corso it up.
As High Noon would say. Not so fast, my friend. The second half looked like a totally different game. Peyton Manning looked like Joe Montana in a Super Bowl in the second half of that game. He was absolutely lights out. He was a total of 24 of 30 for 309 yards, 3 TDs. His one INT was a miscommunication. Hello, hot route. Number 12. Do you not know what hot route is?
And I'll say this. Peyton Manning could never ever try to tackle again. Ever. Ever.
That was a fact.
Ever.
So, the question I have is this. With this bad, to use my line, the Chargers folded like an Italian beach chair.
Norv Turner's gone. That is the coach that's gone. Yeah. Norv Turner.
Yeah. Who did the Broncos win this game, or did the Chargers lose?
The Chargers lost, and I've been on this before. I've said this before. Philip Rivers is overrated. They think he's so great. He's not. Okay, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles. He had 6 turnovers by himself.
Yeah, right. So it's ridiculous. But whenever a team, in my mind, whenever a team takes a 24-0 lead into halftime, they lose the game if they end up losing.
That was definitely a pleasure to watch that second half.
It was a great game, though.
Absolutely.
I was trying to get you to Skype with me, and you wouldn't.
Well, that's because I was talking to him. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Well, we're going to break, and when we come back, we'll get to pick'ems right after this.
Looking back on how I got to where I am. I don't know if it was because I was running towards something or running away from it. But that didn't matter. What I did know is, when you run into something bigger, something meaner, something with the power to knock you down, you have to trust in yourself. Trust that you can get back up and not give in. Ever. Because power isn't just about going forward. It's about not letting anything hold you back. You find that in yourself. You can go anywhere you want.
Here on Triple Threat Talk, Postmaster Jones, Gary the Doc Lock, and Big B, Brandon DeFalo. So we're gonna get into pick'ems, and the first game of the week.
Bring it up.
Oh God!
Awful. God, that hurts. Oh, that's like putting alcohol in a bullet.
5-9. 5-9. 4-10.
Whirlwind of a fail.
We're not doing much worse though than the boys on Fox. So that's good. They also
cheese and crackers.
They also had negative records this week. So I mean, if there's anything that makes me feel better, it's that.
It's all the Browns' fault. It's all the Browns.
So later tonight, the NFL Network.
Are we watching it together? You want to watch it?
It's up to you.
The NFL Network Thursday night game of the week.
You want to come over?
Yeah. Okay.
The Seattle Sea Chickens go on the road.
We do this twice a year.
Against the San Francisco 49ers.
The Niners showed me what happened last time they get mad. I know this involves your team, and I'm sorry. They are going to lose. I know you're going to pick the Seahawks, but the Seahawks are going to lose this game.
Okay.
The 49ers win. Okay. And it's going to be ugly.
Okay. So.
Woo, he said ugly.
So.
Going down a
So, wait, let's go here. The Niners put up 3 points against the Giants.
Okay.
The Seahawks are down 23-10 on the best offense in football. The New England Patriots, who are an institution in football. Brady and Belichick, that's a tandem if there ever was one. They're down by two scores.
But their defense is not like the 49ers.
I agree with that. But they're still down 2 scores to the best offense in football. They come up late and win the game. Granted, it was in the Wizard of Oz, that is Seattle, that mirage of a place where everything is just unbelievable and no one believes how it happens. But
last year, the best team in the league went into Seattle and lost. I just keep that in mind.
Who was that? Last year, who was that?
It was the best team in the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the second best team in the NFC.
So,
sorry. Just keep that in mind.
I'm saying.
Strange things happen in Seattle.
I know. Strange things.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Anyway, who am I to disagree?
We do have like several of the games to get to. So
yeah,
you could,
make your prediction.
I'm going. Okay. I think last week Bradshaw had a good game against the run. I say Lynch does the same. I think Wilson looked very good against New England. I think Seattle wins this game, and I'm not saying a blowout because San Francisco's a good team, and so is Seattle. So I know why you're saying it's gonna be ugly. I think Seattle wins.
The 49ers are mad, and Seattle.
I don't care. I think Seattle wins maybe by a touchdown. Say a touchdown. Seattle wins.
I picked the 49ers by 10.
Yeah, I'm in that boat.
The Arizona Fighting Fitzgeralds go on the road against the Minnesota
Percy Harvins.
Yeah, I sent you something on Facebook about that.
Yeah.
That he's in contention for the MVP. Hello?
You heard it here first.
Hello?
You heard it here first. The Vikings are going to crush the Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know what? I think the Cardinals have identity crisis. First, it's John Skelton. He gets hurt. Let's put in Kevin Kolb. Now he gets hurt. Let's go back to Skelton. The Cardinals don't know who their quarterback is. It could be Kurt Warner next week, for all I know. I picked the Vikings.
I picked the Vikings. The Dallas 9 o'clock management go on the road to face Carolina Cam Newton.
Oh, boy, this is a rough one.
This is a rough one. The Panthers are coming off a much-needed bye week. Did Cam Newton get straight? Did he get right? I'm going to go with Carolina on this. Because,
it's a tough one.
And I'll tell you why. There's been a streak of upsets in the NFL lately. The NFL is the most unpredictable thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. We're doing horrible in pick'ems last year. Last year we smoked them.
Yeah, last week
we smoked everybody.
I think the worst week we won was maybe like 8-8.
I think we went 8-8. Maybe. And we smoked.
You went 7-9 quite a bit.
Yeah, but I didn't do a abysmal like this.
Yeah, I mean,
we weren't even close.
Right. I mean,
we were never even close to like 4 wins.
So we got to start picking a couple upsets here. I think off of a bye week, if there was any other week and they were not at home, I would say the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But because they are coming off a bye week, they've worked some things out. I'm going to say the Panthers.
Cam Newton was struggling this year. There's no doubt about that. Was he come out being Superman or was he come out being Hello Kitty? The Cowboys showed me something last week. They don't care. They have no clock management whatsoever. They could easily beat the Ravens. They didn't. I agree with him. I think the Panthers bounced back off the bye. I don't trust this Cowboys team. They're an accident waiting to happen. I picked Carolina.
Pick Carolina.
Well, I marked that one for something we were going to pick differently.
Well.
Things change.
Yes. The New Orleans Bounty Gates go on the road against the Tampa Bay Watch Your Buccaneers.
This is a game last year that a full-power Saints team went into Tampa Bay and didn't just get beat. They got humiliated at Tampa Bay. The defense at Seattle is, or at the Saints, is a lot worse than what it was last year, and the offense at Tampa Bay is a lot better. Because of that, I'm picking the Bucs.
Yeah, I don't trust the Saints, even though they got a win over the Chargers. The Chargers aren't very good, are they? I like the Bucs. I think this defense is good. I think Greg Schiano's a good fit for them. I think Freeman's pretty decent. He had a bad year last year, but I think Freeman's a pretty decent quarterback, and I think the Saints struggle again.
I'll take the Bucs as well.
Not too early. I didn't think we'd pick. I thought we picked the other teams.
The Green Bay Slackers go on the road, take on the St. Louis Lambs.
I saw something in Aaron Rodgers last week that I hadn't seen in a while.
Just got double check?
Yes. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Confidence.
Okay.
I saw confidence.
That's it.
I think if they had not won this game this last week, I would be picking the Rams.
Yeah.
But the Packers picking up a little momentum. Let's see where they go with it. I'm picking the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, 6 touchdowns by Aaron Rodgers is pretty amazing. But again, that defense for Houston is kind of hurting without Brian Cushing. And the secondary for Houston's not that great anyway, let's be honest. Their secondary is kind of thin. The Rams have a good front seven. I'll give them that. With Chris Long and Laurinaitis, I think it's very good. But I think Aaron Rodgers... Thank you. I think Aaron Rodgers is able to win this game against the Rams. I picked the Packers. It's going to be close, but I like the Packers.
I picked the Cheeseheads. The Washington Potato Skins
I'm liking that one.
go on the road to the Meadowlands to take on the...
MetLife Stadium.
Yes. To take on the New York Gargantuans.
This is a tough game to pick because the Giants are just not playing good at home this year. They're just not. They're playing very well on the road, as we saw last week with the upset over San Francisco. I think for that reason, I'm actually going to pick the Redskins. I think RG3 can... I think he's well enough to pick this defense apart.
Yeah. What did I say earlier this year? The Redskins, if Robert Griffin III is the future player, they win the NFC East. Well, guess what? They're in contention. Thank you very much. Think about it. Think about this thing. This is the reason I'm picking the Redskins. Last year, the Giants lost to the Redskins twice, minus RG3. They didn't have RG3. They had Rex Grossman or John Beck. Whoop-de-doo. You have a playmaker in RG3 who can throw the ball, and Minnesota knows God well he can run the football. I say Redskins.
The Giants are coming off a big emotional road win at San Francisco. They are at home. It is against a division rivalry with the Redskins. And I think they keep the hot streak going. I'm going to have to go different from you guys the first time, and I'm going to take the Giants.
All right.
The Baltimore Ratbirds, well, part of the team,
half
go on the road, take on the Houston Longhorns
with Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis out.
And Haloti Nada out.
Another one
and Webb. Ladarius Webb out.
Some crackers.
I don't see any way where they can stop this 1-2 punch of Arian Foster and Ben Tate. I just
Matt Schaub, Andre Johnson,
Matt Schaub,
Owen Daniels.
Then on defense,
too many weapons for time.
On defense, Joe Flacco is going to get rattled with the pass rusher that is J.J. Watt. I'm picking the Texans.
It's funny. This game this week is the game between the only two winning teams in the AFC. How sad is that?
It is funny.
That is bad.
I brought that up to his attention the other day. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
AFC sucks.
I'll say this much. I think this game is really...
The AFC East, all 4 teams are 3-3.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. This game's going to be very close because, like I said earlier, the Texans secondary isn't that great, so I think Flacco will be able to throw the ball to Torrey Smith and Jacoby Jones. But I agree with him. I think look what the Dallas Cowboys did to the Ravens run. My God. Arian Foster's going to run over that. I picked the Texans at home.
I take the Texans. The Tennessee two-steps go on the road against the Buffalo.
I know what you wanted to say there, and then you rethought it.
What?
Enjoy the bowl game of the week.
No, bowl game of the week is down the line a little bit.
Yeah, we're almost it's coming up.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills. That one.
Absolutely. That's a two-flusher right there.
I see it.
That's a double flush.
Really. Anyway.
Buffalo Bills, Tennessee two-steps.
Titans are rolling a little bit. They're rolling a little bit. They've got Kenny Britt back. This is going to be a good game. But I think Buffalo this week is going to try something new. They're going to try 2 series on, 2 series off for both Jackson and Spiller. It's not... Ryan Fitzpatrick's getting it together a little bit. It's not the worst football he's ever played in his life recently.
Right.
I'm going to pick the Bills.
I don't like this Titans team at all. I think they're one of the worst teams in football. They beat the Steelers, but the Steelers are missing some key factors, and I think the Bills are playing pretty decent football, and they have to have a little bit of confidence. For the first time in a while, they're actually in contention to win the division because every team in that division has the same exact record. Mm-hmm. So I think they win this game. I don't think the Titans are very good. I don't trust this team.
I picked the Bills. The Cleveland Clowns, who picked up their first win of the season, go on the road to take on the Indianapolis Lux.
I'm picking the Lux. I think, and it's nothing against the Browns, because like I told him, the Browns have been in every single game, and then they come back and beat probably what is now with Baltimore's downfall the last week. I don't think there's really any argument that the Cincinnati Bengals are now the team to beat.
I don't know. I don't trust that division anyway.
I'm just saying. I mean, I think they're now the team to beat, and I think I'm going to have to go with the Colts.
This game's going to be close. Like I said, the Browns are going to be that team this year. I thought they were going to lose every game like the Lions did, but they proved me wrong, unfortunately. But I think the Colts win this game. I think the Colts have a pretty decent offense, and I think they're going to be able to shut the Browns down. Again, I say in a couple years, if the Browns get some right pieces, they're going to make a playoff run with Trent Richardson because he's a beast of a player. But I like the Colts.
I'll pick the Colts. The New York 747s go on the road to Gillette, the best the man can get stadium, to take on Tom Brady and the New England Unpatriotics.
Oh, God.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Patriots.
You know what? I'm predicting in this game. Tim Tebow's going to play. Because they're going to get beat up so bad by New England. Rex Ryan's going to be like, Tim Tebow, please save us. Tim Tebow, please save my team. But I like New England. Rex Ryan, hopefully, finally, you wake up this week because you need a wake-up call, and his name is Tim Tebow.
I picked the Patriots in a wallop. It might be the wallop of the week.
Could be. All right, here we go.
Okay, so the triple flush, get the plunger, toilet bowl game of the week.
Mario Brothers edition.
Jackson failed Jaguars go on the road against the Oakland Onos.
I'm picking the Raiders.
I'm picking the Raiders as well. It's in Oakland. That place is crazy. With Raider Nation, I picked the Raiders.
I picked the Raiders as well.
But I am saying go Jacksonville, just to be on the record.
The Pittsburgh Squealers.
Oh, they're squealing loud.
Go on the road to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bungles.
Speaking of squealing, I hope that they've seen the movie Deliverance, because the Bengals are going to destroy the Steelers.
If you don't get that reference and you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't look it up.
You hear the banjo music, you need to turn around.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Did you pick Bengals? Okay. Steelers are struggling.
They're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, and again, what did we say? This is why I'm picking the Bengals. What did we say earlier? The Steelers are 0-3 on the road. Where are they now? On the road. I picked the Bengals.
Gotta be a contrarian here. Picking the Steelers.
Are you serious?
He's because his wife is
He wants to go 9-10.
He doesn't want his wife to be mad at him, son.
No, I just think the
final pick of the week before our break.
The Detroit Cowardly Lions at the Chicago Black Bears.
I think the Bears.
I said before, the Madden curse affects people. Calvin Johnson has not had a touchdown all year. I like the Bears in this game. They're in Soldier Field, so I like the Bears.
They can be playing in Detroit. Hey. They can be playing in Chicago. They can be playing on the moon. The Bears win in an absolute wallop.
And we'll be back with wrestling coverage after this.
Hey, Nick Dinsmore here. Do you have the dream of becoming a pro wrestler? Well, I did, and I came to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. I'm a former WWE superstar, I'm a former 9-time Ohio Valley Wrestling heavyweight champion, and I can train you to be the best today. For all the information regarding the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class, go to ovwrestling.com and click on school. Join the Nick Dinsmore Pro Wrestling class today. ovwrestling.com, click on school.
And welcome back. Postmaster Jones is out for just a second. He will be right back. No interview this week from OVW. We got a big one supposedly coming next week. Hopefully.
Before we get into wrestling, actually some breaking baseball news. The St. Louis Cardinals take their time and win in the rain-delayed game. They win 3-1 over the Giants, so the Cardinals take a 2-1 series lead. I do like the Cardinals in this series. I think they're going to win the World Series. Yeah, I think they're hot right now after the series with the Nationals. I think so.
It's sweet. The Cardinals win 2 years.
So you're going to have the Cardinals and the Tigers. So, all right. Moving on to
OVW, and once again, we want to thank Ohio Valley Wrestling for everything they do for us on a weekly basis.
Absolutely.
So what happened last week?
So last week, Sam Shaw, recent TNA Gut Check winner. Actually, you know what? I have 2 wild cards this week, and I'm going to tell you why later. But Sam Shaw, recent Gut Check winner. I took on Rocco Bellagio. Seemed like Rocco had everything under control. Bolin's out there. Joe Coleman, everything's running smooth. But Joe Coleman tried to help him, and it kind of backfired. He nailed Rocco, and Sam Shaw picked up the win.
Yep.
So there's kind of a little bit of dissension in the ranks of the Bowling Services as it was. So Cliff Compton took an Alex for the television title. Compton is trying to become TV champion because that's the only time he hasn't won yet. In a tough match, Silver retains the belt for Silver continuing to be TV champion, which I like Silver as a champion. So, a non-title match, Randy Royale
with cheese
and Tony Gunn took on the best
answer calls. You gotta answer
team ever. While there may be issues among the best team ever, they win the match regardless. So something's going on between that team. They're trying to think I'm the tag team champions, but
the newest member in the match, the newest member of the Triple Threat Talk family, Mr. VIP, made his television debut. But we ran into another member of the Triple Threat Talk family.
Sorry, Joe.
Who was extremely angry at the world that day.
He runs into one of the premier members of Triple Threat.
I haven't seen Spade this aggressive. I haven't seen Spade this aggressive in a long time. He was obviously fuming over what happened between him and Doug Williams in the Saturday Night Special. And he take it out on Joe Roast and Mr. VIP.
Yeah, he did. Roaster was definitely down for the count within about 30 seconds.
Sorry, Joe.
And I would, you know what? I would even go as far to say as if I was Ryback, I wouldn't have wanted to be in the way of Johnny Spade that night. I mean, that was bad.
So Williams got a promo saying I'm in Johnny Old England, so I can't be there. But of course, all like promos like that, he was still in the back and he tried to sneak attack Spade. Sam Strong came to the aid of Spade, but it seems like Spade's having trust issues. He's not able to trust anybody. I can't blame him, but Sam Strong's trying to help him, and I think Spade should probably try to oblige because he's getting attacked by Doug Williams, Crimson, the Wild Cards. He needs some help here, and Sam Strong's trying to help him. So the main event saw Crimson take on Rob Terry for the heavyweight championship. It was a close match, but once again, Crimson the Weasel weasels his way out and retains the title.
And we want to thank, that does it for OVW coverage this week. We want to thank everybody at OVW, Terry Bodie, Cheryl Connolly, Frank Miller, Joe Roach, Johnny Spade, the list goes on, and Rob Terry, everybody who does everything for us. Yeah. And we have we're going to save one for next week, but since he made it public on Facebook, we wish Ricky Chevy the best, and we're not forgetting about the other guy, but that is on TV taping. And we're going to let OVW have that thunder. Talk about it next week. They did lose somebody else, but Ricky Chevy will be missed, and we hope to see you back in the ring soon, big guy. Right. But go to www.ovwrestling.com, triplethreattalk.com, and click on blogs. Right. So
we're gonna run over.
Check out the first match of the TV taping this week, where somebody on this show made their camera debut at OVW.
So anyway, moving on to Raw. There's not much to talk about, so I'm just gonna run through it, real quick here. Team Raw Scholars was supposed to face Mysterio and Sin Cara, but it's actually Mysterio is a little ill, so that's going to take place next week. Kind of short notice because the match is supposed to take place at Hell in a Cell between the winners of this tournament against Bryan and Kane. But Road Scholars will have the match next week. They beat Epico and Primo on Raw. Kofi Kingston took on The Miz. Not to a match. He knocked The Miz back to the real world that week, and the thing you deceived people is actually check this out.
Kofi popped his hips and got rid of a Miz on that occasion. Oh, there you go. There's a tap. There's a tap of a Miz on that occasion.
Ow! Miz was out cold.
There's a lot of things that, we know what happens in wrestling. There's a lot of things.
Right.
What you know is when his eyes glaze over, there was definitely some things going on there.
Wow! As I stated earlier, Miz faces Kofi Kingston on main event, and he actually did lose, so Kofi Kingston's doing our Continental Champion, so congratulations to him. Mr. Man named CM Punk supported Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Ryback, and we said about Ryback earlier. Cena probably is going to have some kind of role in the main event, maybe special referee or something like that. And like we said earlier, we're going to get into our picks about Hell in a Cell, but right now I like Ryback. I like Ryback.
I like Ryback. So, idiots of the week. You don't have one?
No.
I got one. You got one?
Yeah, go ahead.
You got one too? Okay. For mine, I have Ralph Lauren, the clothing company. They are, hey, get out of my space. I'm trying to read my notes.
My paper.
They hired a model by the name of Robin Lawley, and I actually want you to pull her photo up. Can you do that for me here? It might be a little seductive or whatever for a family show, but I have a point here. All right, Robin Lawley as its first plus-size model. Now, you guys can't see it now, but trust me when I say she is not a plus-size model. She's not a 90-pound model, like they said. But we talked about this earlier last week, and with what happened with Amanda Todd this week. Yeah. This thing where labeling women and labeling people and bullies has got to stop. Yeah. This is ridiculous. This woman is beautiful. When you guys see her photos, if I wasn't with Erica, I wouldn't say no to her. There's no way. She is not a plus size by any means. And for Ralph Lauren to come out and say she's a plus size model is a slap in the face of their new hire. There we go.
I don't think she's.
I don't think she's a plus. No. What would you say? Really? I mean, really?
She is. Well.
She's gorgeous.
She does look a little, but she's not.
No.
She's medium built.
She's medium average.
No. Medium.
So when you guys see the photo, I do want the one with her in the pink on there. I know that it's
I'll find it.
It's a little bit racy for this show, but I want the point to be made.
Right.
And I think that our sponsors would not disagree with me showing this photo because this is an attempt to stop bullying. Right. This is ridiculous by Ralph Lauren to name this woman a plus-size model. She's very beautiful.
Absolutely.
Very beautiful woman. That's my idea of the week.
So, Alex Rodriguez takes it upon himself. He gets benched because he's basically been playing like crap in the playoffs. you know, the team's battling, extra inning game. You're thinking he should be up at the top of the dugout, cheering his team on. Let's go.
Right.
No. He is taking baseballs with his name, autographing them, giving them to ball boys, and saying, here, see that chick over there? Go get this to her and get her phone number. You go see that chick over there, you give her this and give her my phone number. So he is signing autographed baseballs, having the bat boys go into the crowd and give these girls these baseballs and tell them to call me. He got one to say yes, and he got rejected by the other.
So A-Rod saying call me maybe?
I guess so. I don't know.
Now, refresh your memory. Who's A-Rod dating?
Tori Wilson!
Huh. How about that?
She's very attractive, isn't she?
I think she's a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
So,
idiot.
Why?
He's got nothing better to do, apparently.
Well, I mean, A, you should be cheering on your team.
Like you said, he can't hit baseball, but he's still going to hit on women.
Yeah. It's pathetic. You're a multi-millionaire. The fact that you got to resort to shagging baseballs to get a girl's number is pathetic.
He's making millions of dollars by doing two things. One, sitting in the dugout eating sunflower seeds, and two, hitting on women.
I mean, he should have been cheering on his team.
His list of women is longer than, almost as long as the Santa Claus's kids list on Christmas.
Cameron Diaz,
Kate Hudson,
Madonna,
Tori Wilson. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean,
random baseball girls soon to be named.
Right. Yeah.
So crazy. So
Ralph
Lauren and Alex Rodriguez, you are this week's Triple Threat Talk Co-Idiots of the Week.
All right. Do you have any wild cards this week?
I do.
You do.
Yes.
Okay. You have a wild card. Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I have two wild cards.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Do your one, I'll do mine.
No, just let me do mine too.
Okay. All right. Wild card. I touched on it earlier. I want the ratings for SmackDown. They're not using SmackDown effectively.
No.
Because Friday is the death slot. I've said this before. It is the death slot of television. You get moved to Friday nights, you're going to be going off the air in the next season or two. It's a fact. They've had this lockdown. This is a prime spot for them to be to poach ratings. Yeah. They need to treat SmackDown a little bit better.
Right.
I mean, there's just no other way around it. Like I said earlier, one of the big things is they need to start hiring outside of people with television success. With the recent turnovers, as I said earlier, this is just basically a reiteration, but I wanted to include SmackDown in the conversation.
Yeah.
They've got to expand outside the box. They've got to, or else they're not going to go under, but they're going to lose ratings, and they're going to let other people catch up, and something's just got to be done.
Exactly.
That's my wild card.
All right, my wild card, I have two quick wild cards. One is TNA Gut Check, and I've said it to you before, it's a joke. Alex Silva wins Gut Check, he does nothing. Taylor Hendricks wins Gut Check, she does nothing. Sam Tall wins Gut Check, so far he's done nothing. Joey Ryan, he doesn't win Gut Check, then he gets all this publicity by, being at TNA shows and feuding with Al Snow, and then he gets a match of Bound for Glory, wins that match, and gets over on Al Snow. They drag this out, and he didn't even win Gut Check. Gut Check is a joke. The idea is very good, but the way they're executing is a complete joke. And it's not fair to people like Silva, Hendricks, and Sam Shaw who are just going developmental, while Joey Ryan gets a contract just like that, and he gets a whole time to be on the spotlight. So, but our second wild card is promoting the show. Guys, we know our stuff. We said it before, and I'll say it again. We should be bigger than we are. I'm not trying to toot our horn, but we should be. There's people out there, like, there's shows that we don't get as many views as we should because I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But I've seen some sports shows on the internet, and we know as much stuff as much people out, just not on the internet, but in sports, period. So, I'll say this to the fans, the loyal fans out there, Buck and Five, Against All Odds, Sunnis, Jeffrey Castor, and etc. Tell people about Triple Threat Talk, have those people tell other people. Get the word out about the show. We've had 71 episodes. That's a pretty big feat, I would say, for an internet show, I would say. Yeah. So, get the word out. Spread the word about Triple Threat Talk. Tell them what we do. I guarantee you if there's a fan of a sport, we talk about it. So make sure you get the word about us because you guys support us and we appreciate it. So get the word out about Triple Threat Talk.
Like I said too, I mean, I've been trying to, not to interrupt on your wild card.
I was done.
Yeah, we got, we got a couple minutes here. I mean, I said, you know, send us articles. I've opened the door for you guys. We have opened the door for you guys to send us articles, send us stuff, put your name on it. We make sure you get credit for it. I promise you. I promise you, we're not going to steal credit. I'm not about that. If I'm sitting there calling out, you know who, calling out, you know who last week, I'm darn sure not going to make sure we steal credit from you guys. I mean, you're going to get credit for your own work. Send us an article. Send us an article.
Alright, so that's it for the show this week. Good show as always. So if you want to like us on Facebook, please click that like button and go to facebook.com/triplethreattalk to do so. You can follow us on Twitter at triplethreattalk, and you can send us any comment or question you have at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. And of course, visit our fabulous website, triplethreattalk.com. So for Triple Threat Talk, I've said that about 5 times already. This is Big B.
This is Gary the Doc Lock.
This is Postmaster Jones, and if you get a chance, go to Facebook, go to the Prayers for Lane Godwood page, and leave a nice remark. Check that out, and all the stuff he was able to do while he was around. He was a great kid, and he accomplished a lot, and gone too soon at 13. This is Postmaster Jones.
This is Big B signing off. I'm going to go to weather.com and find out what a whale wind is. See you, everybody.